I'm going to talk to you now about the I Can Do It organizing guide for your entryway. The average American home has 20 to 40,000 objects. And I love to go watch basketball games at our local college. And in our stadium, we have 20,900 seats in the Marriott Center. And that is how much a sparse house in America has. No wonder we're so overwhelmed when we have to find homes for 20,000 objects. So I use the I Can Do It organizing system to help me organize. So there's 4 thinking steps and 4 action steps. So step 1 is imagine the entryway that you desire. What are the emotions that you want people to experience? So for me, I want to be able to get out the door, come home, and be able to settle in quickly. And I want laughter. I want more joy. And so my house had a little tiny coat closet, and I decided to not have it be for coats. I want to have games there and some return to people boxes. So that's what I did, is we just have games and return to people boxes. So when we want to play games, we just pull the card table out because the living room is right next to our front door, and we can play some games. And I actually have our coats, there's 3 bedrooms upstairs, so I just put the coats behind the door in the bedrooms with a person's backpack. And that works fantastic. And you know, people are motivated to find their coat when they need it. And you know, you want to make it, your home is actually not a show place for strangers. It is your training ground to grow tomorrow's future leaders. And so you want your children to come home and your husband to feel joy when they come home. So if they come home and they have to hang up their coat and their backpack right behind the front door, and they come home and all the coats have fallen on the ground, that's going to make them feel frustration instead of joy. So figure out what is another way that you can put your coats away so it can create joy and peace, and they don't have to, first thing they come home, they think of, why are these all on the floor? Is it my job to pick it up? Anyway, so next step is create motivation. This is, so, you know, when people have those 20,000 objects and they're feeling discouraged, that's why they stop organizing. They stop making decisions and moving forward. So figure out what would help you get motivated to finish. And if possible, create a mudroom in your house. It's a room where you can actually have hooks, so you can hang up coats, and it's one simple step to hang up a coat. And then put some shelves in. You could have a laundry room with a bunch of shelves, or you could have, you know, just a room that by your garage or your back door, where, like my mom one time, she had like a big kitchen living room, and she actually just made a little L-shaped nook by her back door, and she put lockers in for each one of the kids, and we could all just open up our locker, put our coat away, our different items, and she had all the farm clothes and everything. So none of that came into her front door, none of it came into her kitchen. It stayed in the mudroom, and it took the pressure off the house. I had a mudroom in my last house, and I loved it because I had about 30 containers, and it had flashlights, batteries, electronic cords, cleaning supplies, everything. And so if anybody needed something practical, they didn't have to go to the garage. They just went right off the kitchen to the mudroom, and they got the thing they needed, and they could just throw it in the bin, and they could put it away. It worked awesome. So figure out your motivation. Next is assess. You want to assess the piles, the personalities, and the purpose of your space. So I'm just mostly going to talk about personalities right now. Cassandra Arson is a darling organizer I love. She has 4 different types of people. And so it's ladybugs and crickets. They like more minimalistic houses. Like their house is so empty, it looks like it's ready to sell. Like it's staged, it's ready to sell. and they want things all behind cupboards and things like that. Then there is butterflies and bees, and they are people that enjoy visually rich environments, and they want to be able to see everything so that they can find it, they can grab it. And so I want you to think about not what is your fantasy organizing style, like what is it you see on Pinterest and you're just thinking, oh, I wish I was like that. Think about your personality. Like, what will you do? You know, I'm a visually rich person. Like, I want to kind of see all my craft supplies, but I can't handle seeing them all. I have to put them behind a door, but I do put a lot of things on my table so that I actually will use it. So think about those different personalities, and say you're a cricket. They love like minimalism and more complex systems. But if your family, if you're married to a whole bunch of bees and butterflies, or your children are bees and butterflies, they're not going to do your hard minimalistic system. So you might have to do a little compromising, and they might need to up their game and make you a little bit more happy and follow your system in some areas. Next thing you want to do is note down regions. This is where you figure out the different regions of your entryway. So one time I realized, you know, you want to be able to launch quickly from your home, and you want to land and do that quickly in your home. And I was realizing, like, what is my problem? Like, it's taking me 15 minutes to leave my house because I run into the mudroom and I grab my coat, and then I run to the front closet and I get my my diaper bag, and then I run to another little spot and grab my keys by my control center. And I realize, what am I doing? I teach organizing, and I'm not doing my regions. So what I did was I realized, okay, I get to have the front hall closet. The whole family got the mudroom, but I got the front hall closet, one little area, and I hung up the diaper bag, my purse, my keys, my coats. So when I needed to leave, I could launch in 1 minute and just go. So think about launching and landing with your entryway and your mudroom. And then those are the thinking steps that you need to go through, talk through with your buddy or your, you know, your sister, anybody that will talk to you through it. My husband actually, he didn't want, when I had my mudroom initially in my last house, we had up all these nice cupboards. And he's like, I want to keep those cupboards. And I said, you know what? That is going to be my laundry room and my mudroom. And so I need the cupboards gone. And we had our small little disagreement, and then I won, because I need to have a space, because I'm doing the laundry and I'm cleaning the house and I need it to work for me. So we popped up 3 shelves, and then I put up my bins, and he actually was really happy with it afterwards, because putting away things was so easy and finding things was so easy. And so, you know, you need to make your home work for you and your family. So the next is determine containers. Remember, square containers over circle containers, no lids, and you want to come to the front edge of the shelf and fill it side to side so that no one can create bad habits and put things on the side of the container or in front of the container. And then last step is the container should fill the space only 50 to 70%, so that person's hand can go in, drop, and go out. And then your next step is to organize. You want to speed sort into your 5 boxes. You've got your trash, other room, action box, donations, and storage room. So anything that's not being used at least daily or weekly in your entryway needs to be taken to the garage, the mudroom, you know, because entryways are small and they need to be peaceful, pleasant little places to come in and feel like I am at home, my refuge from the storm. Okay, so then the 7th step is inscribe. This is where you want to label your containers in your entryway, in your mudroom, so when people are saying, where are the batteries? You say, they're in the mudroom, and it says batteries. And you know, if your kids can't read, you could put a picture of a battery You could draw a picture or print out clip art on your computer. And you know, one of my friends that taught me this, she didn't believe in labeling. And so she labeled half of her house, and then half of her house she didn't label. And she timed herself, and she saw that she was 12 times more efficient in the labeled areas of the home. Plus, everyone that lives in the home can put things away correctly every time. So, labeling, that respects the work you've done. You organize the space. If you want it to stay organized, you need to label, inscribe. Okay, and then the final step is train to maintain. After you've done your organizing, just have a quick little family meeting or take each child individually and just tell them, hey, I'm really excited. I organized the entryway in the mudroom and I want to show you how the system works. This is where you put your coat. This is where you put your backpack or, you know, whatever. So teach the family where they need to put away their things, and, you know, without... At the beginning, you might have to have consequences. See, without any consequence, there is no law. So maybe, you know, you say, if you don't hang up your coat, you'll need to pay me 25 cents, you know? Or, you know, if you don't hang up your coat, then you have to go pick up 10 things in the room every time. So they finally can figure out, you know what? It's easier if I hang it up the first time. It saves time if I actually hang it up the first time. So there is going to be training. It is not going to be effortless, but they can learn. When children go to school, they all hang up their coats, they hang up their backpacks. They can do it at home too. And they can be respectful and be fantastic. So this is Crystal Meldrum with Organize Your Joy, and I'm excited for you to organize your entryway.